Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he's made of chicken and beef. He is Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. It is actually about our special guest tonight, who is a young lady who is a NorCal pro wrestling adventurous, former Jungle Cruise skipper, who is kicking everybody's ass over on the West Coast. She has shared the ring with veterans like Christina Von Eerie and Violet Payne. Everybody, welcome to the show, Lara Frazier. Lara, how you doing tonight?
Woo!
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Great, just here, just hanging out. Just trying to regroup after we had a previous guest on a couple hours earlier, and yeah, we're doing a double shot tonight, so we're not dead yet. So I guess we're doing pretty good. We're still standing, so we're doing pretty good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, yeah. So I just gotta say, we really and truly appreciate you doing this for us. We know you're busy and you have a busy schedule and you're planning, your next move in pro wrestling and whatnot. But we really appreciate it. Um, it's been a long time since we've had somebody from California on our show. And just before I go any further, for those of you that actually listen to our Instagram, yes, I did mean what I say. If you are in California and you're a pro wrestler involved in the wrestling industry in general, hit us up. We definitely like to have you on there. It wasn't meant to be an insult. It's just what we heard, and we were like, California doesn't get no love, and they have a great wrestling scene, so we want to hear from y'all. But with that being said, Lara, how's everything on your end?
Everything's great. I just got done yesterday wrestling at Barriston Street Fair for full queer wrestling, and it was awesome. I tagged with my tag partner, obviously my tag partner, Rosie Fingers. Together we're Temple Run the Bases because she's like a baseball player and I'm an adventurous. So we're Temple Run the Bases, and it was fun. I finally got to wrestle Brutal Rob Hands, who's a giant man, and it was intimidating, but I did the best I could.
Yeah, I know you could definitely hold your own. I've seen a couple of your videos, and I'm like, yeah, I think you got it. I've
Thanks.
seen you're pretty vicious in that ring. Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, man, that's one place I hope to actually experience wrestling. I've experienced wrestling in SoCal, it's like more specifically Southgate, which is in Los Angeles. But I've always wanted to check out how wrestling is up in Northern California. Y'all have a very, I mean, just the whole state of California. Y'all have a very unique wrestling scene out there, and y'all like a lot of the wrestlers out there, the men and women out there, y'all stick out like, and I mean that in a good way. Y'all are like larger than life over there. Like if Vince McMahon were still running WWE and, WWE was the way it was in the 80s, a lot of y'all would definitely fit in there. And like I said, I mean that in a good way because it's very, y'all just don't have the talent, but you have the look as well, too.
Thanks. Yeah, there's a lot of really good people out here that are finally getting noticed, and I'm really excited for them. And hopefully, I can join them.
Yeah, yeah. We're hoping for that too, actually. I saw one guy, his name is Cereal Man. Hopefully I get to eat cereal with him one day. He's around. I don't know if he's still wrestling. I hope he is, but I was like, wow, that's pretty unique. And then there's another guy called Pooh Jack, who was a cross between Winnie the Pooh and New Jack, R.I.P. New Jack. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then you have the guys like the Stoner Brothers.
My
Uh,
trainers.
yeah, it seems like everybody knows them, man. That's cool, man. I gotta get them on here one day.
They're
And
pretty rad.
yeah, even Shotzi, you had Shotzi Blackheart over there, who Started well, I got the opportunity to see 7 years ago, and now she's on WB SmackDown. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the
it's
Stoner Brothers also trained her.
wow. They must be very proud right now. They must be like, "Yo, we did it, man! One of our owns on WB now."
Yeah, her and Mansoor, who is currently the fabulous male model Mansoor.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I forgot he actually started in California.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, but it seems like the Stoner Brothers and who else? Um, the Santino Bros. Like it,
Hmm.
you're in California, you got to know those two. They're like the two biggest, trainers
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Stoner Brothers definitely has like the Bay Area, and then Santino is definitely like Southern California.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So I gotta ask you, let's take a trip back in time. How did your love for professional wrestling start? What was the pay-per-view or the match that you saw that got you hooked and made you start tuning in, week after week?
So my friend was a pretty big pro wrestling fan when he was a kid, and then he got back into it when WrestleMania was in Santa Clara at the Levi Stadium. Because his dad got free tickets, or his stepdad got free tickets because he worked for the power company that powers the arena. So they got free, like, you know, not box seats, but like, the little area. And they were like, "Oh, that's cool. Let's get into wrestling again and like catch up with the storylines." So we're there for when we're all caught up when it comes to WrestleMania. And yeah, he got back into it. And there was in 2017, No Mercy was at the Staples Center, and I was living in Southern California at the time and working at Disneyland at the Jungle Cruise. And my friend was like, "Do you want to go to No Mercy?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" I had just watched Glow on Netflix, so I was super into it. And so he took me to go see it, and it was definitely Roman Reigns versus John Cena for me. That was probably hands down the best match of the night. And yeah, I just got into it from there. I did research into more old school stuff. Um, saw all the classic matches like Undertaker throwing Mick Foley off the cage and all that stuff. The TLC match with Edge, the Dudley Boys, and the Hardy Boys, and all that. And yeah, I was sold. I was, someone who's been a performer my entire life and also very athletic. I did ballet for a very long time. I was like, this seems like my kind of thing.
So that's why those kicks were so high. I was like, damn. Like that was
Yeah.
like some like Karate Kid. Like I was like, yo, that's crazy, man. Like I would not want to be on your bad side, man. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
You got them feet of fury, man. Yeah. Hey, I gotta say, like you're very smooth in the ring, man. So
Thank you.
how did your journey? So okay, so let me dial it back a bit. Who are some of your favorites that you enjoyed watching once you got into pro wrestling?
Um, definitely. I mean, I know everyone likes him now, but I got into him because the match with John Cena apparently was like an outlier. But yeah, Roman Reigns I really liked a lot. Um, and then as soon as I started researching more, I was very into Medusa or Lunder Blaze, uh, and Boss Man. I really like Boss Man. I think he's very agile for a bigger guy, or he was very agile for a bigger guy. He was pretty cool. Um, and probably um there's a third. Oh yeah, Shawn Michaels. How could I forget Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels is really cool. I liked him a lot. I thought he got really over as a baby face. He was really good at doing that, and he was also good at getting over as a heel and getting heat. So I thought he was pretty good at that, and very athletic, and very good at working his size and stuff.
Yeah, funny thing you mentioned Big Boss Man. We actually had his daughter on a week or two ago.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, you could definitely see it on our YouTube page. We started a new thing where it's called Lariats and Legacies, where we started interviewing the relatives of wrestlers that have passed on, and even some that have actually retired. We started doing that. So yeah, that was a great interview as well. And you gotta admit, that's Shawn Michaels too, man. That's Shawn Michaels. Like he's never really had a bad match. Like he just like gets you geared up for for like all of his matches that he has, win or lose. Like he just puts on a great performance.
He's a very good performer, and it's a good thing NXT has him. I think, personally, in my humble opinion.
So I take it you saw his work with the Rockers.
Yes, yes, I know the famous barbershop window scene. Yeah.
But I admit it actually makes you want to grab your tag team partner, like, hey, let's try this. Let's do it like the Rockers, man. I mean, honestly, if I were, I'm not a wrestler, obviously, but if I were a wrestler, the Rockers would definitely be my number one tag team I would watch in terms of like innovative stuff and tag team work and so on. I would definitely be watching those two guys because they were
Yeah,
just
yeah. One move that is one of my signatures is the rocker dropper or the famouser, as Billy Gunn does. So um, yeah, I like them.
wow. That's awesome that you actually went back and you saw all those, like, because there's not a lot of people like nowadays would go all the way back. Like I know you're like the second person I know, and it's funny because the other person I know, you probably met him or heard of him, Midas Creed. He's another one. Started watching like he told me he's watching like stuff from Japan from like the '90s, and he wasn't even born in the '90s. He was born. I'm, I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he wasn't born around that time. Midas, my bad, bro. But I was like, you're like this young, and that was before you're watching, you're studying like I was like, you're gonna go far, bro. Like you're gonna definitely go far the way you are. But yeah, that's awesome that you actually did some research and look back at the wrestling of the past and so on. I mean, I think in any wrestling school, if they haven't started doing it, that should be that should be like a I guess they call it a prerequisite. Like when you get into like the business, like you show them a video or documentary of those who came before them and so on. And so that way, like, because I always say, in order to know to know your present, you need to know your past.
Yeah, yeah, because a lot of like one tip that Anton Voorhees, another one of my trainers, did gave me was like look at the wrestlers now and look at their favorite wrestlers and watch tape from them. So that's basically what I did is just looked at a lot of wrestlers that I like now and looked at their influences and basically just like looked them up on YouTube or back when the WWE network was a thing. I would look that up and just watch matches of theirs. And yeah, it's very you get a lot of stuff, you get a lot of really cool ideas, um and you're like, oh, that's really rad, why doesn't nobody do that now? Okay, well, I'm gonna try to do something like that, but like make it my own. And yeah, I think it's really cool, and I think it's a great way to like you know learn from who the people now learn from.
Yeah, yeah. So now that you're a fan and you're cheering your favorites and you're going to the shows and everything, how did your journey go from Lara Frazier, the fan, to Lara Frazier, the wrestler that's kicking ass and taking names all over, the West Coast?
Um, Basically, I was living in Southern California at the time, and me and my friend, who I mentioned, Zach, who was into wrestling, were like looking at schools, and most of them are pretty pricey, or they were like luchador schools. And I realized, like, being a white person, it's okay if you do lucha. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to culturally appropriate or anything. So I moved back to Northern California because it looks like the schools up there were a lot cheaper. And yeah, I basically just looked up schools with him, and I didn't actually. It was Stoner U was the third school I went to. I went to two other ones. I won't name them, but yeah. And then Stoner U, I heard about them through another school, and I went to one of their shows. And like honestly, Anton, he was my trainer at the school I was at before, and he recommended I go there because it would be it would be a better fit, and it was a better fit. And then Anton ended up training with them. So it ended up being great. And yeah, it's great being in Oakland. Um, Basically, just keeping at it, and just listening to my trainers, listening to what they recommend I watch. I watched a lot of Luna Vachon to really get into the aggression, to really capture that kind of aggression, and that sort of thing. And yeah, just basically, I just asked a friend, like, hey, because he reads a lot of wrestling books and watches like listens to all the podcasts and stuff. So he knew more about the business than I did at the time. And now I know more about the business than he does.
So your best friend that got you into wrestling, did he ever join the business, or did he like was he like, nah, it's not for me. I'll just be a fan.
Yeah, he's more so a fan. He thought about it, but he was like, nah, I think I'll just watch you.
Okay. That would have been great. That would have been great if he joined. I could see y'all being like the world's cutest tag team, which was Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
maybe, yeah.
I
We'll see
mean,
if Candice LeRae half.
yeah, I know that. And I did awkward moment. I know
It's okay.
I should have just Voldemorted that. And for those of you that are listening, I apologize. Um, let's see. What's another good duo? Another good female. Let's try to get rid of that. Okay, let's do a redo. Rob, who's another? Do y'all know a good female and male duo that's popular?
Boosie.
Edge and Lita.
Oh yeah.
That was back in the day.
Uh,
There's
I mean,
Anton and Dark Sheik from the Caution. Anton trains me in Dark Sheik. They're in Hood Slam. They wrestled GCW when they were in the Bay Area last time, I think. They wrestled Boosie, who's Alley Catch, and Effie. They're pretty cool.
yeah. Okay. We'll go with that tag. We'll go with that tag. We'll go with that then. Yeah. Y'all disregard that. No offense, Candice LeRae, but yeah.
Totally fine. It's hard. It's hard. It's a sticky business.
Duh. But yeah, yeah, that would have been cool if y'all actually both got in and y'all became a tag team and started like just dominating the whole tag team scene. That would have been awesome too. I gotta say, but seeing Candice, like she is one tough woman, and whew, man, I tell you, it's only a matter of time till she becomes a champion. Speaking of tough women, you have actually faced a couple of veterans. You faced Christina Von Eerie, and you faced Violet Payne, and you also I know her as Ultra Girl. I don't know what her name is, but she has like a super she has like a superhero like gimmick.
Brittany Wonder.
Brittany Wonder. Brittany, I'll try to remember your name next time. Please don't kick my butt. Yes, you got to share the ring with those three veterans. And you also got to wrestle for one of the biggest promotions in Las Vegas, FSW. You're on your way. How was it like? What was it sharing the ring? This is a two-part question. What was it sharing the ring with those three veterans? And what was it like working for FSW?
It actually wasn't FSW. It was in the arena. It was where they host FSW. It was actually for LFC Lingerie Fighting Championships. That's where I faced Violet Payne.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. It was in there, but it was in their arena though. And it was pretty cool. She was actually my first match. And yeah, I learned a lot from her. And it was different because it was kind of like a different style. It was kind of more of an MMA type style. So that was interesting to learn about. But yeah, I've learned so much sharing the ring from Violet Payne, but I was not able to come out on top for Brittany Wonder or Christina Von Eerie, unfortunately. But they're vets, so
I think in due time you'll be able to give them even more of a run for their money. I mean, like I said, I've seen a couple of your clips, and I've seen the punishment you've given out to your opponents, and I think next time they're going to be in for a surprise. So, but yeah, that was great. I don't know if it were me facing them, I'd probably be nervous. I'm like, oh, geez, Christina Von Eerie, 10 plus year veteran wrestling Impact. She was one of the first women to be ever be ranked in the PWI Women's Top 50, which is now the top 150.
Mhm.
I was like, wow, I would have been kind of nervous, especially with her.
I definitely was. I definitely was. But it just so happens that my trainers were really close to her. Like she started training when they started training. So I just happened to know her through them. Like we had followed each other on Instagram like a while ago. And yeah, I was definitely very nervous. Especially especially since her manager, Doc Atrocity, her current manager, did a fireball to my face. Uh,
Ooh, that
so
was nasty.
yeah, there's a picture of it. It's like my header on Twitter and Facebook of just my face just being consumed by flames.
Jeez,
Yeah.
some people have no heart, man. At least some mist flames, man.
Nah, you gotta. That was my debut at Next Level Pro Wrestling. I had to show them that like, yeah, I'm gonna do something crazy.
Yeah, that was yeah, that was that next level definitely seems. I've heard about it before. It seems like a really cool promotion to check out.
Hmm.
So you actually said that you're a bit of an adventurer, you're a NorCal Pro Wrestling adventuress, and
Hmm.
you're also a former Jungle Cruise skipper.
Hmm.
So did you see Jungle Cruise with The Rock?
Yes.
What were your thoughts about it?
I actually really liked it. A lot of movies, besides the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, a lot of rides based on Disney attractions, like a lot of movies based on Disney attractions, just have not been that great. So I was a little scared, but I saw it with The Rock, and it was actually really. I thought it was one of the better attractions to movies adaptations. I thought The Rock definitely really captured the spirit in his first scene as a Jungle Cruise skipper, the just snarky, sarcastic, punny spirit really well. Um, and yeah, it was a rad movie. And I'm super into adventure movies. I really like Indiana Jones. I really like the Mummy remakes with Brandon Fraser and Rachel Weisz. I really like uh the Tomb Raider games. I don't play them, but my friend plays them and I watch the Uncharted and the Tomb Raider games, which is where my name comes from. Lara Frazier is Lara Croft and Chloe Frazier from Uncharted. So,
Oh, that's cool. Two great adventurers, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. So so with that be so I'm just gonna veer off wrestling just for a little bit.
yeah.
If you had to choose a place that you wanted to explore, one place out of the whole world. I know you're probably thinking, this is gonna be hard. Or I'll give you two. I'll be kind and let you choose two. What would be your two places that you'd want to explore?
I definitely want to check out Machu Picchu. That's definitely one. And then the pyramids in Egypt. Definitely. The Great Pyramids, the three ones. Yeah, probably those two.
That's awesome. Two interesting places. That's
Mhm.
so. I just got two more questions before I pass over to Rob. My second to last question is, um, of course, every adventurer needs a certain soundtrack. They need that certain like song set that gets them in the mood to go on their adventures, or in your case, not just go on adventures, but go to the gym, knock out those reps or that cardio, or even get ready for your opponent at the next show. What are some songs you enjoy listening to that get you into that zone?
I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. Uh, my entrance music is by my friend's band. His name is Giovanni Brooks. His band's name is Static Symphony. And the song is called Wild and Out. You can listen to it on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music. Uh, but yeah, my friend's band Static Symphony is pretty good. I also really like Britney Spears. I also really like Metallica, Lady Gaga, probably What have I been listening to lately? A lot of 90s rock, just from grunge to like post grunge to like new metal, basically, is what I've been listening to the past couple of years. Um, yeah, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I would say all kinds. I have my limits, but I listen to a lot of different kinds of music.
That's cool. That's cool to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check out Static Symphony X. Um, the name actually has me interested now, and then it's called what? Then even the title of the song, Wild Nut. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. So my last question, you know, now that you're a pro wrestler, you faced you faced a couple of veterans. Who is on your list that you'd want to face in the near future? They could be from anywhere, WB, AEW, Impact, or the Indies, anywhere in the world. Who would you want to wrestle in the near future?
So many. Definitely Shotzi. I trained with her very briefly during the pandemic when she came by Oakland a couple of times. And I would definitely love to wrestle her just because, she came out from the same school and I came out in a different cohort than she did. So I think it'd be really cool to like see, Stoner U from its inception to Stoner U now. I would like to wrestle Lita because she also came by and trained at Stoner U a couple of times before the Royal Rumble and before her match at Elimination Chamber with Becky Lynch. She's a really cool person, super nice. Yeah, like she's really cool, and I would like to wrestle Lita a lot. And probably Alundra Blaze, definitely. Really like her style, super athletic, super just talented, wrestled in Japan for a very long time. Wrestled Bull Nakano, who's no joke. And yeah, there's so many people I want to wrestle. Allie Catch. Gosh, I'd do Brittany Wonder and Christina Von Eerie any day. Violet Payne. Just so many people. So much talent out there.
Yeah, well, honestly, I hope you get to wrestle all of them as well. I hope you get to travel the world and hopefully you get to go to Japan. I could say I don't know if you've been already, but if you haven't been yet,
I have
savor
not.
it. It's a wonderful place.
Awesome.
I was lucky to be there for 3 years, but
Oh, cool.
yeah, I would make sure when you go you get your Ribeiro jacket. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but um,
Mm-mm.
there's a steakhouse in Tokyo, and the owner has this tradition of giving pro wrestlers a jacket because they're in the business.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, like Hulk Hogan has gotten his. John Cena actually got his. Um,
That's
several
really cool.
This guy Hammerstone got it too, but he said he couldn't put it on because his arms were too big. That was funny. But yeah, definitely make sure you do that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Rob. I know Rob has a couple of questions for you. And by the way, if you are a Marvel or DC or a Star Wars person, he's gonna ask you a bunch of questions about that. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm well. Just hanging out. Doing the interview, having a blast. Anything crazy happened to you today? Just normal day.
Pretty normal day. I spent the night at my boyfriend's house, and we woke up and he has 12 fantasy football teams. I learned today,
Oh wow. Okay.
so we watched
Hmm.
Red Zone for quite a bit, and that was fun. Seeing him go through, the 5 stages of grief. Well, also like he was both like happy and upset at the same time because he has 12 teams. And then yeah, I went from his house to my mom's house. I'm at my mom's house now, and I watched her dog for a little bit, Gracie. She's super cute. And my parents came home, my mom and her boyfriend, and we had sandwiches. And now I'm
Hmm.
here. So nothing
Oh,
too
hey,
crazy.
sounds like an awesome day. Yeah, that's 12 fantasy. I don't know how he can do that. I remember when I did it, I had two teams, and I was like pulling my hair out, like, oh my gosh, 12. Yeah, man, more power to him, man. He's a man.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh
how he does
wow.
it. I could
That's
barely
right.
follow sports. Like I watch them. Like if someone puts it
Mhm.
on, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch sports, and I usually have a good time. But I cannot follow them.
Oh, there you go. Oh, hey, hey. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I was I was actually going to ask you earlier, about your show last night. You had a show and all. Now, did you win your match? You never told us what happened during your match. You just said you wrestled and stuff, man. What happened? Did
Yeah,
you did you did you get let them know? Hey, did you give them a beat down?
I wanted to. I tried really hard. It was Brutal Rob Hands, who's so big, you guys. He's just so
Hmm.
big. You gotta believe me. And this guy named JMM, who's from Reno, I believe, or somewhere in Nevada. And JMM pulled an Eddie Guerrero on me and threw his headshot at
Mm,
me and made it look like
mm.
I hit him. And I was like, I did not. And the crowd was not happy with that. So we got DQ'd. Brutal Rob Hands laid the beat down on him later, though, because that's not how he plays things. So yeah. I tried to shake Brutal Rob's hand, but it's just his hands are so big that they just hurt. It just hurt. They're
Jeez.
so big. You gotta believe me.
Yeah, hey, I believe you. You ain't gotta convince me. Yeah, you don't have to convince me.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah. So you were saying earlier, Lita actually came and trained with y'all. So I didn't know that. So I wrote something down. I was like, so what was it like training with her? And did you get any advice from Lita? Because she probably has like a just knowledge just out the yin yang. Just out the wazoo. Like, did she share impart any of that wisdom onto you or anything?
Yeah, there was one thing she said that I overheard that she said to the twins, which was like, you got to give people like something that they want or something that they really like, but then like, if someone's the heel, they got to like immediately take it away, because that's going to get the reaction. So that was very insightful. Also, it was very interesting her learning the moves that like Dark Sheik does, because Dark Sheik was there one of the days. She runs Hood Slam, or like learning the moves that like Anton does. It's like, oh yeah, I get to see that on a pay-per-view. What my trainers do. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. So
Mhm.
when is your next show? You had one last night. Do you have one this coming weekend, or are you booked up for the rest of the year? Yeah, are you staying busy?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay busy. Yeah, I have one next week at Next Level Pro Wrestling, Ghost and Grapplers. I'm wrestling Kimberly Diamond, who's another vet
Mm.
who I've wrestled before. She got the best of me last time, but hopefully that won't be the case this time. But yeah, I'm also wrestling pretty much every weekend in November. By December, still not booked though, so still looking for December bookings.
Mm.
FYI. But yeah,
Hey,
I'm pretty busy thus far.
that's cool. That's cool. Hey, over here in Delaware, we have or the CCW over here. Maybe they can get you out here or something. Maybe
Oh yeah,
wrestle out
sure.
here or something. Oh, that'd be awesome. Hey, you go from you be coast to coast.
Yeah, I know dudes at ringside also want me to get out to the West Coast also. So, I mean
Mm.
East Coast, East
Yeah,
Coast.
yeah.
So, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make my way there at one point. I just don't want to like, yeah, I just want to make sure like I'm good enough, and I'm ready enough, and I'm drawing enough.
There you go. There you go.
That's the important thing. I gotta become a real draw.
There you go. Yeah, I did a show a couple weeks ago when I was reffing and stuff, and uh of my trainer and all. It was like kind of a student showcase type deal, and on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but apparently we made $6 on TikTok for some reason. There was like 4,000 people going on there. It's like, well, fellas, you can never say you never drew a dime. It's like, yes, anything above $6, hey, I don't know about that, but hey, $6, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I can, my finishing move has like 11,000 views on TikTok. One of my promos has like 12,000 views. So I can draw on social media. Just getting people to come out in person is a little bit more of a little
Yeah,
bit hard. But
yeah, people, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
people, if they can watch it on TV or laptop, phone or whatever, they're like, I don't know if I want to fight traffic, and it's like,
Yeah, but
whatever.
like seeing pro wrestling in person is just honestly like nothing else. It's like going to a concert, but instead of listening to music, you're watching people beat each other up. So I really like it. There's no other energy like it, being in the crowd or being in front of a crowd.
That's right. That's right. Now, what? Now, I was also going to ask about you. Getting set on fire. Getting a fireball thrown at you. Now, what did you have any injuries from that? Were your eyebrows still intact? Was the front of your bangs and the front of your head still there? You weren't walking around like, oh, I got to wear a hat for the next month, or.
I went almost unscathed. I had like a burn here and a burn here. My eyelashes on
Mm,
the side were like a little shorter than these for a little bit.
mm,
And then like
okay.
this part of my hair also got burned. Like it's like a lot shorter than the rest of my hair. Christina was like so worried about it. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, I agreed to this. I agreed to this.
That's great. That's great. Now, is Nevada the farthest you've traveled so far? Just California. Around that area.
I've also been to Washington
Ooh,
for
okay,
5cc
nice.
wrestling. I was gonna go for Timber Pro, but unfortunately they had to cancel their shows, unfortunately, due to the fires. But they have a show coming up in November. I'm not gonna be there. But yeah, I've been to Nevada. I've been to both Reno and Vegas for LFC, and then Reno for APW. I've been to Washington for 5cc, and then I'm going to Colorado November 5th, Greeley, Colorado, November 5th. And then on November 19th, I'm going to Tennessee to film customs for Liberty Pro.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, so Tennessee is going to definitely probably be the furthest.
Okay, that's
Which
pretty cool.
checks out. Yeah.
Now, I was doing a little, research and stuff on you, and I did want to ask you this question. Why can't the devil make any money on YouTube?
Because he got demonetized.
Yeah, I seen those jokes on there. I was like, oh, this is funny. I'm going to have to mess with them on there, on here, today. So I was like, I wrote a couple down myself, so I can,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Well,
did
it's
order a
still.
chicken and egg. I did order a chicken and an egg on Amazon. I'll
Oh,
let you
yeah.
know later. I'll let you know
Okay.
later.
Okay.
What came first, chicken or the egg?
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, those are a holdover from when I used to be a Jungle Cruise skipper, because I did really like that job. I did it for 5 years. It just became very tiring and cumbersome and didn't pay me enough. So I
Mm.
left. I figured wrestling might make me a little more money down the line. But yeah, I still like telling jokes and making people laugh and smile and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now I did see, you like going to the zoos and stuff. Speaking of the adventure and things and stuff. I did see the little video with you with a kangaroo and stuff. Now, did the
Oh yeah.
kangaroo end up boxing? I've never seen one in real life. Like any animal I see, like a groundhog or something. I'm like, you see that kangaroo over there or something? I'm like, what? Everything's kangaroos. So, but did the kangaroo end up boxing? Because they really do, jump high, all that good stuff. Do they have that real pouch? Do they really keep his stuff in that pouch?
I didn't see a pouch. There wasn't any boxing. I don't know. You'd have to ask someone from Australia. They say
Okay.
apparently they're like as common as like deer there. So you gotta ask someone there if they box. But this one hopped around a bunch and it was super cute. So
Now, do they have Tasmanian devils over there at that zoo?
I don't. They might. It's the San Francisco Zoo, so you'd have to look that up. I know one of the places I went to had Tasmanian devils. It was either Oakland or San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
went
was
to the
I was going.
Sacramento Zoo. Huh?
Oh no, I was going to ask if when they move and stuff, do they really cause a tornado every time they move? All like that. I was going to ask if they do that.
There was some running. I don't think there were any tornadoes though.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's cool. So okay, now another thing I got to see. You're like you don't hang out with Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein's monster. People say that. When they say that too, I usually don't correct them because I know what they're talking about. But under my breath, and I'm just like, no, no, it's Frankenstein's monster. Like you're wrong. Like Frankenstein meets the. I'm like, all
Yeah,
right.
well, someone on TikTok actually corrected me, and he's like, "Well, the way surnames work, since Frankenstein created Frankenstein's monster and gave him a name, that means his last name is automatically Frankenstein." I'm like, "Okay, dude, it's just a joke, okay?
Hmm.
It's really
Yeah.
not that big a deal to me because I also don't correct people unless like I know them and I want to mess with them." But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if I don't really know them, it's like I know what you're talking about. And like
Yeah.
also, Universal named some of their like movies just him as Frankenstein, so I think that's where the confusion comes from. So
Okay. Now, are you like a Halloween person? Are you into Halloween and the scary movies and stuff? And okay, have you watched the new Halloween movie yet? Did you get to see it yet?
not yet. To be honest, I
Okay.
haven't really been a fan of this recent Halloween movie.
Okay.
I thought they started out great with the opening scene of the first one, and then it just went downhill from there, and I haven't been able to catch up. Sorry, Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's a horror icon, but I heard this one was people have some opinions on it.
I don't mean to butt in, but it can't be as bad as Halloween 3. I'm talking about from back in the 80s.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I actually like that one.
Are you
Is that
Season
the
of
serious,
the
one where he
Witch
went to
one.
space?
It was
dude?
the one where they wore the mask and they watched the TV and then the mask would eat their faces or
Are you
something.
How could somebody like that? Jeez, Rob, you're
Yeah, I've
really
watched a
starting to
bunch of
bother.
crap, so you know.
Rob, okay, Lara. First, he thinks the whole thing with Alexa Bliss popping out of a box and
Oh
black
man.
goop spraying out of her hair is cute. He was.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, I
Hey.
want to take her on a date. Now he likes
Yeah,
Halloween
I was
3,
confused.
season of the
I
witch.
was
Into what
confused.
you're
You're starting
into.
to rub
No
me, bro.
judgment here. No
There
judgment
you
here.
go.
You're
I
into what
know.
you're
I
into.
know. I know. Hey, there you go. That's right. That's right. So, so what Halloween movies are you watching, now, are there anything, you'd like to watch, like every year or something that gets you pumped up for the season, ready to roll, are there certain movies and stuff?
I definitely like going with the classics a lot, especially since I think the horror genre has definitely stepped up its game in the past couple of years with Get Out and It
Yes.
Follows. And just since then, it's definitely really become taken more seriously, especially with A24 horror movies like Midsummer or Hereditary.
Mm.
Uh, but so I like to go back to the classics a lot. I really like Candyman. I really like Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger,
Whew.
out of the slashers, is probably my favorite because, like, I don't know, I love sleep personally, and to think
Yeah.
that I would have to avoid something that I love, especially something so necessary, that's terrifying to me. Um, and Friday the 13th, the original Halloween. Laurie is probably one of the first and probably one of my favorite final girls. Uh, yeah, I just really like the classics. Also, like I've been adding new classics like The Ring. Like The Ring holds up surprisingly, even though the technology is dated. Landlines are very ancient now. It holds up still. And the Japanese version Ringu. Yeah, they still hold up to this day. They're still scary.
Now, have you seen that new one? Was it Black Phone? Have you seen that one yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it was on it's on Peacock or whatever. I forget who's in it. I can't remember the actor's name, but it was a pretty good one. It was a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
If you have Peacock or whatever, yeah, definitely check it out. It was a pretty good one.
What
It
is it
came out
again?
like a month. Black Phone, Black
Black
Phone.
Phone?
Mm,
Oh, I've heard of that. Yes, I was gonna see it in theaters because it had such a high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and I usually trust. I know a lot of people don't like film critics, but I personally really like film
mhm.
critics just because I'm like obsessed with movies. Like I will. I am that type of person that sits and watch those like hour-long YouTube breakdowns about why a movie was brilliant or why it was bad, but like, I don't care. I am that person who will spend my entire day just watching that on YouTube, like straight up. Like I'm just crazy about movies. I wanted to be a screenwriter for a little bit when I was younger,
Mm.
but that's a lot of work. I guess so is wrestling, but I don't know. I'd rather do the physical work than the mental work. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
Um,
because yeah, writing, yeah, that can stress you out. You get a mental block or whatever, and you can't think or whatever. Oh my lord. Oh no, no, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no.
awful.
I'd rather just get thrown around. It's fine.
There you go. There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No.
Now, are you ready for Halloween? Do you have a costume picked out? Ready to roll? And can you share it with us, or is it a surprise?
No, I love the idea. I actually came up with it once and I was like, I don't know if you'd want to do it. But basically me and my boyfriend, I'm gonna go as Eddie Munson and then he's gonna go as Chrissy from like the first episode of Stranger Things, like the cheerleader. He's gonna go as
Okay,
like
okay.
a masculine version of him, so like a male cheerleader version of him, and then I'm gonna go like as a feminine Eddie Munson. Because I figured a lot of people were probably gonna go as Eddie Munson this year, or if not, the Sanderson sisters, because Hocus Pocus 2 just came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what can I do to separate myself? And it's like, oh, I'm dating a human being. Let's ask if he'd be into this idea, and he totally was. So, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, Eddie Munson. Yeah, Stranger Things. Yeah, yeah, like you said, Metallica. I like Metallica too. You know, I always mess with my friends. I call them Metallica. I'm like, you ever heard that band Metallica? They're like,
Metallica.
it's Metallica. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, in the house, Metallica. You know, say how it sounds. But
Yeah.
he was pretty cool on that. You know, going up there playing some Metallica. You know, going out like that. I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Apparently,
Yeah.
like that Master of Puppets at the time had only come out like 2 weeks prior, and
Hmm.
people are like all upset because he's like, he learned that in 2 weeks with no tab on the internet, and I'm like, some people, they're musical
Yeah.
prodigies, okay, they can figure it out. Maybe he was just that good of a guitar player. Shit, he's just a teenager.
Yeah. I had a buddy who he'd play guitar and bass just like that, he'd, like by ear. He didn't go to a teacher or anything. He would just listen to like a song, like, and then within like a couple hours, he's got it down pat. I'll be like, oh my, like why else you're in the band or anything? It's a self confidence thing with him. You know what I mean? He's like, oh no. I'm like, shh, I've never heard people do that before, man. You just listen. You're just, oh yeah, I'll just copy it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I
I'm
can't.
barely good at Guitar Hero, you know what I mean? Let alone trying to do a real, real guitar.
Guitar Hero is hard.
Yeah,
Even like,
I'm good with the 3 buttons, and then once you get to the 4, I gotta move my pinky and stuff. No, I'm like,
like
it tries to.
the easy level I can do fine. I can knock it out fine. As soon as I go to intermediate, I'm like, nope, I'm done. I'm done with this. I don't need this in my life anymore. No more.
That's right. I'm good. So now I do gotta ask, are there any new movies and TV shows you're into right now? Because I'm always trying to find new stuff to watch. Because I always get into the same stuff over and over, like comfort shows. I'll just watch over and over again and all that. So, is there anything new you're watching?
Yes. In June I got COVID, so I couldn't go to school. So I was stuck home and I watched The Boys, and I got all caught up with The Boys, basically.
Yes.
So The Boys is like my new obsession because it's totally my thing. Very subversive of the superhero genre. I love it when people explore, like, Scream is one of my favorite horror movies because it explores like the slasher genre in a very cool and interesting and clever way. And I feel like that's what The Boys does with superhero movies and just with how our society is in general, but that's a whole nother thing. And then of course all the blood and guts, definitely keep you from nodding. I swear, like in the beginning, I'm not gonna give it away if you haven't watched it yet, but there's like in the first couple of scenes something wild happens, and I had to like rewind it like 3 times to be like, what just happened? What?
I remember when Avengers, it was Endgame was coming out. Everybody had a theory that Ant-Man was going to shrink down and go up inside Thanos and stuff, and then I was like, oh man, that would be so crazy. That would be so wild. You know what I mean? What was it? It was season 2 of The Boys or season 3, one of them or something. I'm watching it and I'm like, are you serious? Am I really watching this? It was season 3. Yeah, I was like, am I really watching this? Like, is Ant-Man really doing it? I was like, okay, all right.
The part that got me was when I don't know what her name was, the Japanese woman. Did you see part? Have you seen season 3, Lara?
Yeah, I'm all caught up. I've seen everything.
Rob? Have you seen season 3?
I haven't finished it yet.
Spoilers for season 3, possibly, or maybe not. Maybe not.
The bedroom.
Oh yeah, now you're good.
The bedroom. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anymore, but I was like,
I think I know what one you're talking about.
She really did that.
She really did that, yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, moving on. Yeah. But the thing I like about season 3, one of my favorite actors, Jensen Ackles. Man, that's my boy. He could kill anything.
The same guy who was working on Supernatural is working on this show too. So that's why you'll probably see a lot of people who've been like on Supernatural in that sort of body of work. Because he's working on The Boys now, which is good. I think that's a good fit for them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but the actor that plays Homelander, it's crazy because I was watching. I don't mean to cut you off, Rob.
No.
I was watching
No, you're good.
I was watching a series called Banshee, and if you're into like gunplay and action like with a Western vibe, I would recommend. I mean, it's not set in the Old West, but like it's set in a small town. And the actor that plays Homelander plays the protagonist of that series. And I didn't know until I looked him up. I'm like, wow, this man is really diverse. He's playing two completely different characters, and they have two very different like personalities. I was like amazed by that.
I think the reason why is because, you know, Homelander is supposed to be your typical like Superman / Captain America type hero. So they probably cast him because he was really good at being the protagonist. And like what you don't know about Homelander is he has a dark side, and that's all I'm gonna say.
And he looks like Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that Zach Morris look. Yeah. Like he's
Yeah.
gonna con you out of money or something, you know what I mean, and all this stuff. Yeah, Zach Morris. Now what got me, I think it was season 1 with Homelander was that airplane scene where they went up like airplane that and I was like, whoo, okay, they're going to do it with this show. Okay, I'm ready for a ride with this.
It's funny because when Homelander did the press thing afterwards, my friend watched it, and like a lot of people were joking back when Cody Rhodes was still with AEW that like he was looking like Homelander.
Mhm.
And then my friend watched it like, after all that, like after Cody Rhodes went to the WWE, back to the WWE and all that. And my friend was like, you know that speech he gives after the plane thing? Totally Cody Rhodes.
Oh man, that's wild. Oh man,
And he, to the point where he was like, maybe Cody Rhodes was meaning to do that.
that's right. That's right.
Which would be a very interesting wrestling heel, I think.
Oh yeah. Now I did like that show because the lead character on there wears a duster with Hawaiian shirts. And I'm like, that's what I wear. You know what I mean? I always wear. I don't care. I live in Delaware, and we have winters like actual snow. I'll still roll outside with a my Mango PI shirt. Got my duster. I don't care. Hey, let's roll. It's in a state of mind. Hawaii's in a state of mind.
When I won, I was also an Enchanted Tiki Room host as well as a Jungle Cruise skipper in Disneyland, and I won Tiki Host of the Year 2015. Pretty prestigious award. Not gonna brag.
Nice. There you go.
But I wore Hawaiian shirts too. That was like the uniform was like Hawaiian shirts and like these like tacky jean type things, and it was a pretty comfortable outfit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I don't really wear the khaki jeans. I wear just like regular jeans. You know what I mean? Got my Converse, Chuck Taylors. You know what I mean? That's all I ever wear. I always wear my Chuck Taylors.
Right.
Now I did want to ask. Being down there, California and stuff, and San Francisco and stuff. Have you ever driven on that crazy road with the turns? It goes up like a hill like that and stuff. Have you ever been on that? What is it really wild driving on that road?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you have a bigger car. It's better if you have a smaller car, but if you have a bigger car,
Hmm.
it's kind of hard to make those sharp turns. It's called Lombard Street, Lombardi
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Lombard
yeah.
Street in San Francisco. I've been down it a couple of times because, like, my dad, it was actually from Michigan. He moved to California. I met my
Hmm.
mom. So we have like a lot of relatives. Also, my brother, he who's also from California, went to the Citadel in South Carolina, that college. So he would like bring over roommates every once in a while from, whenever it was on holiday break or whatever, and we'd, tour San Francisco. That'd be one of the places people would want to check out because, it's pretty easy, it's free. Yeah.
Yeah. Now is the Full House house next near it or whatever? Have you ever been by it? The house from Full House?
Those are the Painted Ladies. I don't know if they're in the same district or not.
Okay.
But yeah, those are the Painted Ladies. They are all still there. Very
Okay.
expensive to live in.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, very expensive.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, see, yeah. Well, I think San Francisco. I don't realize how big a city is. Because I'm in the country. I'm country and all this stuff, and everything's like, it's all small here and stuff. I forget about the city. Oh man.
Yeah. Well, California has everything. It also has country. Like, now my mom lives out here in the countryside in like the Central Valley. So there's like a lot of country, a lot of cities, a lot of beaches, mountains. If you
Yeah.
want snow, just go further north or go towards
Hmm.
Tahoe. Like, California has everything, and that's personally what I enjoy about it. It's like, you know what? I don't want to move out of state, but I want a different vibe. California probably has it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, California, yeah, you go north, yeah, you have all the mountains and all that stuff. Then down south, you got deserts and all that, beaches, yeah, it's got everything, literally
Mhm.
everything, California. You got
We're
all
very
that.
big, so that
Yeah.
helps.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're like pretty much the whole West Coast and stuff, you know what I mean?
Except for, yeah, Oregon and Washington. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. So you got see, I don't realize because I've never been out that west that way west. So I don't realize, I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
there's huge states out there, Texas, California, Nevada. Oh man, just whew. That was when everybody was expanding west, it was like, oh yeah, just everybody have all this. I'm on the east when everybody was like, all right, you get a little part, you get a little part, you get a little, divide up like
Yeah.
that, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I did want to ask, do you have any, funny travel stories that have happened to you, traveling to your shows and stuff? Like maybe, you come across the Bigfoot, because I mean, like you say, you're in California, you have everything over there. Maybe a Bigfoot's come out, and you're like, oh, well, what is that? Or chupacabra or something like that, or something crazy.
I have seen a chupacabra. He wrestles for Hood
Ooh.
Slam.
Oh, okay, okay, I got you. Okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
He lives in Nevada, but he does
Okay,
wrestle for Hood Slam.
okay, okay, that's cool, that's cool.
Hmm.
So you don't have any, so you never come across a Bigfoot or anything crazy.
Not a Bigfoot. Closest I could say is probably Cal Jack. He wrestled for NXT.
Okay.
He lives in Vegas now, but he did a lot of NorCal wrestling. Still does a lot of NorCal wrestling. Still does a lot of Washington, Pacific Northwest, which I think is where he's from. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, he's in Vegas now, and he's training. He's trained this really cool chick that was at the Folsom Street Fair. She's Zoe Sloan. She also was a ballerina, and she kind of has this
Mm.
like black swan gimmick, and it's really cool. She's really good. Look out for Zoe Sloan because she's going places, whether it's dancing or wrestling. She could do whatever the heck she wants. She's great.
That's awesome.
I want to have a
Oh
ballet
yeah.
fight with her.
That would be cool, the little Black Swan ballet fight. Oh man, that'd be yeah. I did actually like that movie Black Swan. It was pretty weird. It was trippy. I was like, okay.
Made by the same
Oh
guy who
man.
did the wrestler movie.
Oh, he did. Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
Darren,
He
Darren
considers them
Aronofsky.
partner pieces.
Darren Aronofsky, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, now that you're saying it, I'm playing it in my head. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see the similarities and stuff in that. Man. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Yeah,
Hmm.
pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Now, before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff, I do want to say, I want to say, thank you for, taking time out of your busy schedule, come on chat with us. Definitely had a blast. Talk about Halloween stuff, your career and all that good stuff. And, I wish you nothing but the best in your future success for you, your family, and all that. And I
Hmm.
hope you, get out, east and all across the world, go around kicking butt everywhere. And maybe get
Thank
that
you.
ballerina fight that you want.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Lara, thank you very much for, taking time out of your, schedule to, be a guest on our show and talk, about wrestling and all that good stuff. We really and truly appreciate it. And, we'll definitely check out Zoe Sloan. If you could shoot her a message, hey, Ringside Society's going to be looking to have you on, just to give her a heads up. We definitely appreciate it because we're going to be, since my job has me getting home at like 11 o'clock here in New York, I figured, hey, why not just interview some people over on the west side, since people on the east side are going to be already asleep in dreamland. Might as well just show some love to the west coast peeps. And I know a couple of people over there we've had that were pretty amazing. And yeah, we definitely, y'all definitely have a great thing going on over there, and I hope to experience more of it in person, in the very near future. But Before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out when your next appearances, purchase Lara Frazier merchandise, hear some of those good Jungle Cruise jokes, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
At Laura Frazier Kick on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And then Bookers, book Skipper Lauren at gmail.com, which was my skipper name. And was my wrestling name at first, but I changed it over to this. Yeah, just because,
Awesome. So y'all definitely heard, she's on social media. Definitely give her a follow. Check out all her stuff. She is really that good. And bookers, for those of you that are on the East Coast, I'm not gonna call names, but y'all know who y'all are. This young lady is willing to travel to the East Coast. So definitely, book her. She wants, to experience, how we do it on the East Coast, which certain parts are different, but if you ever make it in New York, it'll be unlike any other place you've been to. I mean, that in a good way too. So y'all definitely, book this young lady. She's good at what she does. She'll probably even throw in a few jokes for y'all as well too. So yeah. But with that being said, we it's about that time. My eyelids are getting heavy once again. That means it's time for a nap. Maybe not yet. I'm still watching Halloween Ends. But before I indulge in that terrifying activity, um, Rob Bass, the Tommy to my Ghost, the Eminem to my Royce the 5'9", and the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover. Where
Oh,
can
we didn't
fans?
ask for her socials yet, did we?
Yeah, we
he
did.
did. He did.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay, my bad.
It's okay.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out when your next appearances, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_base82, and Facebook, Rob Base. And then November 12th, 1CW, CCW, we got a show going on. I'm not sure what matches are on yet. It hasn't been determined yet, but it's TBD. So just follow along. We'll let you know. Got you on that.
Awesome. And I'm gonna piggyback off of that. For those of you that if you can't make those shows live, there's Title Match Network. It is a great. I just signed up for it as well. It is a great um, database for lack of a better term, for to watch pro wrestling on. You get several shows all for the low price of $9.99 a month. Or if you're feeling that motivated as a wrestling fan, $100 a year. So it's great to have. You can see a lot of wrestling shows like Mission Pro, CCW, Battle Club Pro over here in New York and so on. So y'all definitely look into that. It's really good. $9.99 to watch all those shows. The average wrestling show is what, $25, $20? That's like $10 you're saving right there, every month. So, or a lot of money you're saving every month. So definitely check it out if you can't make it to the shows in person. If you could, then go because it's not like seeing a show in person. But if you can't, well, there's that. But that's enough rambling from me. If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say these days, but who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. You can find me on Twitter at the Remy Blue, and also on Instagram at the Remy Blue as well, and also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Spotify. We're also on Facebook as a Facebook group. And we're also on Teespring where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, tank tops, hoodies. We even have coffee mugs. Check us out. And like I said, like we always say, all proceeds from those sales go back into keeping this show afloat. They do not go back into our pockets. And last but not least, we also have a YouTube channel where you can actually see cool interviews like this one, like the one we had before with, Dex Harmon, and the one before that with our new series, Larry's and Legacies, with the Big Boss Man's daughter, Lacey Trailer, and Sergeant Slaughter's daughter, Kelly Slaughter, and of course, Bad News Brown's daughter, Francisco Age. Definitely check out our YouTube channel. All you gotta do is go to YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and once you see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm telling you, we're not joking. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in tonight live. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could listen to, should listen to. To those of y'all that are going to listen later on when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really truly wish we take our merch and everything and just go away. Well, like myself at the Go to Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
We ain't stopping. I think they learned by now. But with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here at Ringside Society are very well aware of everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the ever so impressive NorCal wrestling scene, and one time for NorCal Pro Wrestling Adventurous, former Jungle Cruise skipper, the ever so phenomenal Lara Frazier,
Woo!
who's kicking the high kicks like who's kicking them high like she's Anderson Silva. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we will be back very soon with another impressive guest on another impressive episode. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.